A new NBA season finally underway, the 2017-2018 season, and this Nets team is reloaded and ready to go. Maybe try to make a push towards the playoffs if we can this year, which also means that it's a new season in college basketball and for high school all around the nation, which means new prospects. So it seems like for the most part the consensus among 2K and Draft Express is that Hakeem Rozier and Deshaun Miles are the top two prospects, followed by Marcel Dupree, the French point guard, and Derek Patterson has kind of been all over the place on draft boards, going as high as 4 and then 5 for 2K, and then shockingly not even in the top 10 for NBA.com. I'm not sure why they're so low on him and why they have someone like Oliver Griffith. I've never even heard of him, from England at number 1. They actually have Patterson going as low as 14, and we picked 12. They think we'll take Leslie Jean-Charles. But let me tell you something, if Derek Patterson dare got that low, I would be all over that pick in a heartbeat. And we also decided to add on one more person to the squad. John Holland, after a very productive and very good summer camp, we decided to bring him on for some depth. And that would start off the Brooklyn Nets season at home, taking on the Utah Jazz at the beginning of the season and their brand new rookie starting at point guard, Markelle Fultz. So tip-off got underway with Nerlens Noel at the 4 and Brook Lopez at center, winning the tip-off. And the first possession for the Nets could not have gone any more disastrous than it did here. You have Noel here on the outside, passing to Lee inside to Lopez. He got some decent ball movement at first, but then all of a sudden Noel got stuck in the paint, and Lynn pump faked here, step back, jumper. What a waste of a possession. Jazz come right back up the floor. Rodney Hood pushing it. Step back, jumper, good. Not a great start to the season. First 30 seconds, Utah Jazz already shining on us. 4-2 later on in the first. A little movement here by the new signee, Courtney Lee, trying to drive inside, passes it in to Lynn. Few pump fakes there, decides to kick it out to Lopez, who's waiting there from 15 feet out, takes the foul from Gobert, and banks that one in. He'd make the free throw as well to push it to 5-4. Three-pointer there, shot by Rodney Hood, but Courtney Lee getting a little too aggressive there. He'd give up a 3-point free throw opportunity for Hood as he'd make all 3 of those. Noel trying to work inside, no good there on Favors. Favors playing him very, very tight down low. Hayward back up the floor, decides to step back, shoots 3 and hits. 10-5 Jazz. And they would absolutely go on a tear. Noel trying to swat that one to no avail though as Favors lays that one up and in inside. 14-5 Jazz. Here's Courtney Lee trying to pull up here. And then pass inside to Lopez, gets swatted by Rudy Gobert, and Hood pushing it up the floor, pass inside. Dante Exum, fadeaway jumper in the paint. 16-5, they went on a 10-0 run. Nets will call timeout there. 25-16. Again, not a good showing, but here's Malcolm Brogdon in now at point guard, the new point guard that we acquired during the offseason. And Nerlens Noel showing off some range there, hitting a 3. That was his second field goal of the game there, the three-pointer. And then later on, scored 25-21. Brogdon trying to work inside there. Loving the work on the crossover and then backing him down with the post move and then spinning inside to get the layup there. Miles Bridges, the new rookie, on board here, losing possession of the ball. And then losing sight of his man as well as Joe Johnson hits that three-pointer to continue to push the Jazz lead. Into the second quarter we go. Corner 3 hit there by Rodney Hood. And then here's Fultz here. Pull-up jumper, no good. And then in transition, McCullough kicking it out to Lynn. Little crossover, trying to shape up his man. Pass inside, McCullough slamming it down on the little pick and roll as the lead cuts down to 6. Lead to 5 now for the Jazz. Hayward jacking up a 3 there, no good. Pushing it up the floor is Courtney Lee. Dish inside, McCullough in transition. Good lane there. A good job filling the lane there to get the easy slam. Now the lead down to 3. Here's Lynn. A little crossover to get inside, and one lays it up and in. He'd make the free throw to tie this ball game all up. Look at this again. A little crossover there. Gets right past Joe Johnson and Derek Favors to lay that one up. Into the third we go, 59-59. Here's a fun little matchup. Nerlens Noel matched up on Joe Johnson playing power forward to start off the third quarter. Created a fun little matchup during this one. Here's Joe Johnson out in the corner shooting a three. Gets that one to go as Nerlens Noel didn't get out there fast enough. So here's Lin inside to Noel. Lays that one up and in. Joe Johnson not there in time on defense. Next Nets possession, 65-63 for the Jazz. Lee misses that one, but there's Nerlens Noel to go ahead and rebound and put that one back up and in. Again, Joe Johnson there getting slammed all over. And on the next Nets possession, still down 2. Here's Nerlens Noel working the post moves on Joe Johnson to get that one up and in. They went back to Nerlens Noel, I think 5 times in a row on offense, and he scored every possession. Turnover here. Hollis Jefferson picking off Hayward. Passing Noel, this time being a little unselfish, giving it to Lin inside. Lin, with too much traffic there, gives it back up to Noel. He lays that one up and in. Nets with the lead up by 2. Good defense there by Noel on Joe Johnson, showing the length. Here's Lin, a little hop step inside, but can't get any room. Kicks it back out to Lopez for the mid-range jumper. 4-point lead now for this Nets team. Starting to look a lot better than they did in the first quarter. But now here's Joe Johnson working on Noel. A little step back now, using that range to his advantage to go ahead and score there. But here's Noel working on Joe again. Too easy. But somehow misses that one nonetheless. And back up the floor. Fultz kicking it out to Joe Johnson from the corner. Gets the lucky roll and it goes in. 72-71. Utah now back up. Here's Noel working on Joe again. This time gets it to go as he works him around with the post moves. Way too easy all day for Noel on Joe Johnson. I think he had 24 points up to that point. And inside here, you got Bam finally in the game, throwing that one down. Good job to get open there. Here's Noel, a little give and go to Hollis Jefferson, throwing down the reverse. So a nice dime there by Noel to get it to Hollis Jefferson. And into the fourth we go, 197 game here. And look at that fadeaway jumper from the inbounds play by Hayward there to go ahead and get it in. And then here, Rodney Hood, jumper, gets all 3 of that. 112-108. So lead starting to slip away now from the Nets with about 5 minutes to go. Here's Fultz outside to Favors with Noel on him. And Hayward comes off the screen. 3-pointer, gets all of it. Jazz pulling away now, up by 7. Jazz up by 5 later on. Favors gets the roll despite all the pressure there by Noel and getting the hand in his face and everything. The Nets pushed it right back up the floor. Lin gets it inside to Noel, a little pump fake, and then 2-hand jam right on Favors. So finally he gets one up on Favors there to go ahead and put that one home. And then Hayward, another step back 3. That time it doesn't go as Lin pushes it back up the floor. In transition, Noel filling the lane. The Fours have done a great job between McCullough and Noel in transition to fill that lane and get the easy buckets in transition. So here's Hayward again, another step back, doesn't go. Gobert gets the rebound but can't put it back up and in. Noel gets it, Lopez got it, kicked it back out, and then look at that, another pass in transition as Noel fills the lane properly. A little Euro step in there to go ahead and slam that home safely with 2 hands. A 1-point lead now for the Jazz and another missed bucket. Here come the Nets pushing it back up the floor. Inside to Noel, this time with contact in front of him, still able to lay it up and in. 44.5 seconds to go. The Nets take the lead back again as we're up 1. So inbound possession for the Jazz, and a tic-tac foul here called on Hollis Jefferson. With Utah on the bonus, it would send Hayward to the line. First free throw. Rolls in and gets it to go. So tie ball game. Hayward, second free throw, doesn't go. Noel with the board, and here come the Nets. Trying to kill some time before they go ahead and put up the shot. Lin calling for the pick, gets it. And now is trapped inside. A bad pass as it's picked off by Rodney Hood. So here comes Rodney back up the floor. Inside to Hayward, just moves around. Hollis Jefferson, but still pins it off the glass. Here comes Lin back up the floor to Noel, driving and lays it up and in. Noel putting on an absolute show here in the fourth quarter to bring this team back, and you can hear the crowd respond. But Noel would miss the free throw. The MVP chance, I don't think there's ever been an MVP chant here in ever since we started over here in Brooklyn. But with seconds left, a 2-point game, there's still time. Here's Hayward on the jumper, no good. But it gets tipped up and in, but was it in time? Favors did get it up. They're going to have an official review to see if this game is going into overtime. Noel playing a little too cautiously inside there and went to the outside and didn't stop the rebound because he was afraid of Hayward making that shot. And Favors did, in fact, get it up in time, and into overtime we go. Ref giving the official signal there. So, yep, overtime we go. 120 apiece between the Jazz and the Nets. So, let's go ahead and play two, shall we? Win the tip, and here comes Lin driving inside. Noel out to Courtney Lee. Back inside to Noel. Or sorry, to Lin, I should say. Then back to Courtney Lee. Fadeaway jumper there. Gets it to go and gets fouled. He would also make the free throw for the and one. 123-120. Nets up. Noel, good defense there on Favors. Gets the board. Kicks it out to Lin as they push it up the floor. And then this happens. Jeremy Lin comes up limping on this play. Diagnosis came back. It is a broken ankle. Not sure what happened here. I don't know if he just came down a little awkwardly when he jumped and tried to pass the ball, but he will be out for the next 2 months. So that means that now we will be relying on Malcolm Brogdon, and he shows off a great pass here inside to Hollis Jefferson as he slams that one home. Nets up 5. Hayward, another 3. Doesn't go for him. But he's been clutch in the fourth quarter, so we still got to play great defense on him. Here's Malcolm Brogdon just driving inside. Gotta love his aggressiveness there to get to the basket and put that one home. Nets up by 7. Later on, Nets up by 5. Foul there, given up by Lopez on Gobert. That is Lopez's 5th foul. And Rudy would actually miss both free throws, but Hayward would rebound, and Hollis Jefferson picked up the foul. He would make both of his free throws to cut it to a 3-point lead. Hollis Jefferson forces the shot there, doesn't go. Here's Burks up the floor to Fultz, and that one gets rejected by Noel. Return to sender. Fultz not having a great scoring game in this one. As Hollis Jefferson drove there, got the foul. He would make one of his free throws. There's Burke inside, no good, and Gobert gets the Favors gets the and one, and Brook Lopez fouls out of this game. So no Brook Lopez, no Jeremy Lin. Brooklyn only has a 1-point lead right now with 20 seconds to go. Playing hard on Fultz inside, swatted away, but then another foul called in favor of Derek Favors, and he would go to the line. He would make both of his free throws. So 16.3 left. Pass out to Kilpatrick as he's setting up the play. Gets a screen here from Nerlens Noel. Kilpatrick, alley-oop to Nerlens Noel to slam that one home. 7 seconds to go. Nets take the lead. So it's 7.5 to go. After Nerlens Noel again bails out the Nets, it's Hayward. Hollis Jefferson on him. Hayward steps up, nails the 3. Well, they only counted as a 2-pointer. He had his foot on the line. 0.6 seconds to go. Hayward puts the Jazz up by 1, and that seemed to seal the deal. So here's the last play. Inbound play for the Nets. It's an alley-oop to Nerlens Noel, and he gets it to go. Ball game, Nets win. What a way to finish on that one. Nerlens Noel, alley-oop on the inbounds from Hollis Jefferson. They were playing the perimeter way too much. He snuck past Rudy and tipped that one in. What a play by the Nets to go ahead and put this one away. Nerlens Noel, the player of the game, absolutely deserving of it. He had a fantastic game in this one. 42 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist. and leading the Nets the entire way in this charge to win the first game of the season. Absolutely excited by the play with the play by him, and making me have a few questions about Lopez in the future. Although right now, I think Lopez is just fine. But if we do want to go the other way, we certainly can. I think we found an answer at least the 4 and possibly the 5 with Noel there. So now that the first game is done and in the books, it's time for me to go ahead and watch some prospects. Watch Senior Week and see what's up in college basketball. And then finally get the month of November underway. Should be an exciting year if this is the sort of game we can have.